Jonathan,
Yeah.
liking that shirt you got on?
Why, thank you. I like your drinking cup or mug.
It is a pretty nice looking mug, huh? But we're not here to talk about mugs or shirts. We're here to talk about tech history.
This week, we're covering October 25th through the 31st. And first off, we have Windows XP released.
Wow, this is nostalgic for me. Did you have Windows XP on your one of your first PCs?
Yeah. I feel like that was the best Windows. It had the best startup.
It did. Had good animation. I think this was like the start of the modern operating system where things started to look really nice, had that glassy look to it.
Yeah.
If you had a decent monitor, things looked really, really nice. Then Windows 2000 and Windows ME came up. I just ruined everything after that. But yeah, I remember this. This is kind of cool. This is gosh, I don't even know what to say about it. It's
Yeah.
just
Pretty popular, I guess.
yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of people and listening to this that worked with Windows XP and just kind of have their own experience with it, their own struggles, their own successes.
I would say it's now nostalgic.
It is definitely. I don't think it's safe to be on the internet with this operating system anymore. I mean, it's not. It's not. It has so many vulnerabilities that can lead to attacks. You would have to be behind an armored tank in order to get on the internet with this.
All right. Next up, we have October 26th. The Pony Express goes bye-bye.
We just talked about this, didn't we?
Yeah, the Transcontinental Telegraph opened and put everyone out of business, basically.
Yeah. I mean, this was Western Union. They did their first transcontinental telegraph line that went from Missouri to California. And it was instant messaging almost, right?
Yeah.
Where it would take 10 days to get a letter from Missouri to California via Pony Express. And so once the transcontinental telegraph became available 2 days later, the Pony Express just like, why are we even going to have this? We don't need this anymore. This is, the Pony Express is obsolete, literally taken off the market.
Yep. All right. Next up, we have October 27th, the first major ARPNET outage.
What do you know about ARPNET?
ARPNET was like the internet before the internet.
ARPNET was the internet before the internet. Yeah, it was a precursor to the modern internet. So I believe that this was between universities only. Yeah, it was between universities where you would have these connections. And so some of them would connect via wires, some of them would connect via satellite. But yeah, they had their own little internet going on.
And it malfunctioned for the first time.
Yeah. Stopped functioning for about 4 hours after making the network routing tables. Oh, the network routing tables became corrupt. You know what they're talking about when they say the network routing tables?
No.
So remember when we registered roadtocode and we went to go and connected it to, it was one of our first episodes, and we connected it to Amazon S3. So when we when we configured those tables, those were routing tables.
Oh, okay.
And so if those routing tables become corrupt, yeah, it's like the whole thing screws up. And we actually did some wrong entries and we couldn't get it to work at first. And we realized, oh, wait a second, we got to do this, we got to do that. So we made some changes. same concept happened here,
So
basically.
they had one of us or one of me over there back in the day in 1980 mess up the routing cables.
They had several people. Yeah, I'm sure there was more than one of yous. Most definitely.
Cool. All right. Next up, we have October 28th. The DMCA signed into law, which is
Oh,
the
what do you
Digital
remember?
Millennium Copyright Act.
What do you remember about this, Jonathan?
Not much really. I don't really remember.
Does this affect you much?
I know since I don't remember, I don't think it does. Does it?
Yeah,
That's what,
actually, I don't know if you remember Napster.
oh yeah. Yep.
Napster was the reason why this Copyright Act went into effect. People were just downloading and sharing music like it was nothing. Like you're sharing a bag of chips, you know?
Like this law didn't even exist.
Yeah. It was very controversial with accusations of abuse of the law to stifle innovation and competition. So the art segment, no, not the art segment. It was the music makers, not the music makers themselves, not the artists, but the companies that distributed the art, you know, whether it be music, whether it be movies, whatever the case is, we're having a hard time dealing with the digitizing of these movies. And so people started sharing because they wanted it to be convenient. And I think they started talking to some people and they realized we don't want to steal it. We want it to be convenient. And I think that's where, you know, Netflix and Hulu and Prime Video and all that, you know, Disney Plus, that's when they realized that, like, hey, if you just provide it in a convenient way to people, people will pay for it. But because people were trying to make it convenient, they were just copying it. That was convenient. I mean, you carry it anywhere, right? On your phone, on your tablet, on your laptop, or at home. It didn't matter. They just wanted convenience. So that's why people were copying all this digital stuff. But the entertainment industry just said, like, hey, no, this got to stop. You got to continue to buy VHS. This is like, we don't even have VHS anymore. You know? Okay, we'll move up to DVDs. Like, yeah, no, DVDs. It's like, who has a DVD nowadays, you know? And once they made it convenient for people, I think piracy kind of dwindled down. You know, you still have people that pirate stuff, but it's not, I want to say that it's not any worse than someone walking over to their neighbor and giving them a tape and making a copy, you know, just inserting two tapes and copying one to the other, you know. It's very minimal. So, but yeah, that was a big thing. It's like it was their panic mode. It's like, make it a law, make it stop.
Cool. All right. Next up, we have October 29th, the first message on the internet.
Wow. And it was handwritten of all.
Wow.
This is the log of the first message sent to the internet. Why is it handwritten?
So weird.
UCLA student Charlie Klein attempts to transmit a text login to a computer at the Stanford Research Institute over the first link on the ARPNET. So it wasn't the internet per se, it was the precursor, the ARPNET.
Wow.
Yeah, interesting.
I remember my first message was probably on AIM, messaging people on random chats.
Oh, that's right. They had all these different channels. Oh, so yeah, you understand how the whole board would work, right? Like a BBS. Before you would have to dial in directly to a BBS. When you jumped on the internet, you just went through the internet to a BBS, which is a bulletin board service, I think it's called.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool. I can't believe they actually have it to write it out, the log, but okay.
All right, next up, October 30th, War of the World scares the pants off the nation.
Yeah. Orson Welles. Orson Welles is he's an artist, he's an actor. Who is this guy?
I think he was a radio something artist, yeah, or actor.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And so broadcast his radio adaptation of the War of the Worlds. Wasn't this like some kind of like 1800s movie of some sort or story narrated? Yeah, 1950s.
Yeah.
So War of the World. Where's it at? War of the World, 1938. So there's a book, isn't there, called War of the World?
Yeah, I think it was I think he didn't write the book, did he? He just
1938, his radio anthology series Mercury Theater on the Air gave Wells the platform to find international fame as a director and narrator of the radio adaptation of H.G. Wells' novel. Yeah, it's a novel, it's a book.
Mhm.
The War of the World, which caused some listeners to believe that an invasion by extraterrestrial being was in fact occurring. Although the reports of panics were mostly false and overstated, they rocketed Wells to notoriety. Yeah. So the book itself was ahead of its time because they talked about rockets and these lasers and stuff. And I mean, eventually a lot of that stuff was invented or perfected at least and used in today's modern world. But yeah, they caused a panic.
All right. Last but not least, we have October 31st, the first crew into the first crew to the International Space Station.
This was a Halloween celebration or something.
I wonder if they had costumes in their station.
I'm sure they did. Yeah, they dressed up as clowns or oh wait, no, they dressed up as astronauts. What are we talking about?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, International Space Station. I mean, this is like some old technology and it's still going.
Yeah.
I would imagine they're gonna have to take it down pretty soon and put something modern up there. Or I'm sure they've upgraded some pieces.
Yeah, I mean, if it's still going today, they've had to have.
Yeah, there has to be some repairs and stuff. And if you think about it, the internet still works today the way it worked back when the ARPNET was running. It still needs copper cable. The only difference is that you go from copper to satellite and maybe some fiber in between. But I would imagine that all the copper that's running through the International Space Station is still being used to connect different technology, different computers and stuff. I'm sure you could probably take a MacBook Pro that was released this year, somehow connect it, it's put an adapter, from USB-C to, I don't know, RJ45 or something, who knows? I mean, I couldn't imagine things not working. It's just a signal. And it's just the way that things look now and behave and the speed are just different. But it really does break down to ones and zeros at the end of the day. So, yeah, cool.
Yeah, that's all we have for tech history this week.
Excellent. Until next time.
Peace.
Peace out.